All right, well, if you are a trading coach, trading community owner, someone who sells info regarding trading, anyone who sells some sort of trading info product, this is for you. This is essentially how you can bring your trading community from being a hobby, which a hobby is obviously not a good thing. It's not a business. It's something that does not have consistent cash flow. So assuming you don't have consistent cash flow, this is everything that, you're kind of doing right now. And on the other side of this whiteboard right here is all the fix. I'm going to explain everything pretty in detail and kind of articulate everything pretty in depth. I know this doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot to unfold. You're definitely keeping yourselves from those 5-figure months if you haven't hit them already. You could even have hit a 5-figure month and, now you're lower. You're like 5K, maybe 6K. A lot of the time, whenever we come in and, we start working with these trading offers, they're doing these things. And a lot of the time also they've hit these big months, but then they kind of fall off and they'll be at like 3K a month from 10K a month originally. And it's just, falling back into these patterns that keeps your community a hobby in the sense. We're going to go with that. But anyways, I'm just going to get right into it. So the first thing is no defined offer. This is essentially just a community with lackluster info and coaching with no direction. So if you're selling, let's say, a community and it's not really set up properly, you might have premium education, but it's not really centered towards anyone. The info is pretty generic. You can find it on YouTube, just stuff where you can say it's valuable, but it's really not. Or also maybe another community where you go live and you're doing live trading, but you're not consistently hitting trades every single day, or you're not even like making the effort to go live every single day. Maybe even something else like you have a course and there's just, once again, not good value in it. It's short. It's not worth their money. Just anything like that. If your offer is weak, you pretty much have no defined offer. And then same with coaching with no direction. If you're doing coaching and you have no system, you have no kind of setup that you bring your students through that will guarantee them or at least get them very close to that dream outcome of profitability. Maybe it might be different for you. Maybe it's not profitability. Maybe it's a funded account, a payout, whatever it is. And you have no certain system or just no direction with it. You're kind of just onboarding them and saying, hey, I'll give you one-on-one calls and you can text me, and that's it. You have a lackluster info offer because there's just no direction. There's no defined offer. You can't go and pitch that to someone and expect it to sell really well. You're like, yeah, you can get my phone number. We can hop in calls sometimes and, I'll teach you whatever you need, but that's really it. That doesn't really sell itself as well as something like a defined offer. Second thing is no real system. So you're posting whenever you feel like it and you have inconsistent months. This also gets a lot deeper than just those two things. But like example for content, you're posting maybe twice one day, 0 days the next day, 1 day the day after that, then you're missing another day. You have no sort of system that you can rely on that is going to produce you consistent leads. One thing that we do, once again, going to these communities and helping them grow, we have a system that we make them run through every single day. Posting content, doing some sort of CTA on their story, doing some sort of promotion, once again, having some sort of community engagement going on. If it's for coaching, having that offer direction, once again, always texting their leads, making sure that, hey, they're okay. No email, SMS, just something like that. We have systems for that. Kind of think about it like with our creators on their business back end, the input is trading viewers. We have our system and our processes that we give the community owners or the coaching offers, and then the output is either MRR or students to their high ticket coaching. So that's the second thing. The third thing is no brand identity. You post, that's it. As simple as that. You're just posting. All you're doing is posting. You have no identity. You have no model. You have no certain kind of strategy. Like, think about it like this. Someone like Dodgy, if you know who he is, he has IVGs. That's his brand identity. He's an IVG trader. Someone who we work with, Tempo Trades, he's another IVG trader. That's his identity. Someone like Bonkonomics, who we also work with, he has his rise zones. He has his way of trading. That's his identity. That's something that he can stick to, as well as his car that he just bought. Same thing with Tempo. He has his Porsche. He's known as a Porsche guy. He has his birds. He has stuff that makes him himself, that he shows off, that gives him some sort of identity and makes him basically cleared out from all the rubble and all the shit that a lot of these other people are posting, and it makes them themselves. And they get good content. someone like Tempo is doing very, very well with the amount of low followers that he has, and that's because he has such a good brand identity. Another thing that can tie into that too is there's nothing different about you. That's another thing too, which I kind of, what I just said kind of can speak to. There's nothing different. If you're just another trader trading the same model that everyone else trades, and you don't give any away, you don't give any info away that's really unheard of or, not talked about a lot, or there's just nothing that makes you different from all the other community owners and all the other people posting content on IG Reels and TikTok, you have no true brand identity, and basically you just get saturated, and you don't ever, there's no reason for someone to buy your offer anymore because they have no reason to. They're not going to go to you, they're going to go to the guy who has a brand identity and who looks a lot better than you do because they have that brand identity. So yeah, I kind of just ate into whatever your community was, I kind of just ate into you. Now I want to give you the actual fixes to your problems and, help you bring your hobby to a business, in the sense that we're talking about. Once again, this doesn't look like a lot, but I'm going to get deep into it. So content delivery, that's one of the big things. This can tie into building a system. Content schedule, proper ideation, and CTAs. A lot of the time, y'all don't have content schedules, and you honestly need one with the way that a lot of y'all post. You can't post it whenever you feel like it. You get leads from content. A day without content means a day without leads. No leads means your business dies, essentially. So you need to have some sort of content schedule. An example of that would be, okay, I'm going to post 2 Reels a day. I'm going to post 2 TikToks a day. I'm going to post 1 long form a day. Well, that could be a trade recap. So boom, right there, you have 5 pieces of content going out a day. 2 IG Reels, 2 TikToks, 1 long form, and you have, a schedule set out to keep you consistent and keep something going. So you're always posting out new content and you're always getting new leads from your videos, as well as nurturing your current leads. Proper ideation just ties into posting content that is actually going to hit well with your audience, which ties into not having a brand identity. If you don't have a brand identity, then you don't know who your audience is and you don't know who to post to, who to make content to. Am I making content to struggling traders? Am I making content to already profitable traders? Am I making the content to traders struggling with ICT? Supply and demand. You get what I'm saying? You need to have something that you can identify with and you can identify your audience with. Because once you get those 2 things, then you can start, getting ideation that's proper, that's going to hit with the right audience and it's going to hit with your current audience. And in turn, is going to give them value and get them those steps closer to buying your offer, to becoming a student or a mentee. You get what I'm saying? To, live trading with you every day in your paid community. And then CTAs is the other thing. A lot of y'all forget to CTA. I know one thing that works well with some people is they don't CTA and they just wait for inbound leads to DM them. You can't really do that unless you're a very good trader, and it only works for very good traders. I know someone who's a very good trader and it works extremely well for him, but 90% of people are not trading like him. They don't, have the same style as him. You need to be CTAing every day to let your audience know, hey, you can come live trade with me. You can come learn with me. You can come get some sort of paid info from me, that's just paid walled. And that can just be story CTAs, video CTAs, long form CTAs, just stuff like that to make your audience aware, hey, I sell something, come get it. And then 2, driven offer. This ties into what we said before. Basically, point A to point B, meaning, okay, what are you selling? Are you selling a trading community that is going to guarantee struggling traders to become profitable? Are you selling a mentorship that's going to help, straight traders struggling with emotions to get a funded payout? What is your point A to point B? Whenever someone's coming into your community, whenever someone's coming into your offer, where are they currently and where do they want to get to that you can help them out with? That helps make a very good offer. That helps make a driven offer because now you have some sort of structure to it that you can build around that, that point A to point B. You start making your course content, you start making your trading community, you start making your mentorship system built around that process. It's going to get them from point A to point B. Number 2 is value packed. That ties in once again with point A to point B. Just having enough value to where you're not going to get a high churn rate and you're not going to get chargebacks, because that's one thing that especially trading communities deal with a lot is if it's just one thing like live trading and they don't like it, they're going to churn. There has to be something that is going to keep them inside of your community, and it has to be value. It can be premium education plus live trading. It can be a free course plus live trading and premium education. Like whatever it is, live calls, live classes that are paywalled behind your trading community. Whatever it is, just make sure it's actually valuable enough for the price that you're charging, or you're going to deal with chargebacks and you're going to deal with, churn that's really horrible. A lot of the time people think they just need to offer live trading. You don't. You need to offer more than that. Everyone offers live trading now. And the third one is just weekly ritual. What that means is you need to have some sort of ritual, some sort of routine tied to your trading community that that ties in with the content delivery, your content schedule. What am I doing with my offer every single day? Am I going live, on Wednesdays and Tuesdays of every week? Am I doing PM trading sessions on Fridays of every week? Am I doing Q&A calls with my community on Mondays and Tuesdays? Like, you need to have some sort of weekly routine or ritual with your offer. So, one, your people who are buying already know what they're getting themselves into, and they know, Friday I really struggled with, psychology. I'm going to have the Q&A on Monday that I can go to and ask them about. That also adds more value. And as well as for yourself, how are you going to form a business without any sort of system that you do every single week? That regards content, once again, you could be, okay, I'm going to go live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and I'm going to post long forms on those 3 days also. And then I'm also going to post short form on the days that I'm not doing long form. Just something like that. Create some sort of schedule, some sort of routine that you can follow and will consistently get you in a better spot than you were the week before. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just start something. You know what I mean? Get somewhere. But that's really it. I know this wasn't anything super crazy. Just ties into what it is that actually builds good communities once again, and probably what you're doing wrong right now. If you want our help, I have my booking link below. I have my IG below if you have any questions regarding it. But yeah, that's really about it. Peace.